Outside of mods and emulation, there was surely a dream for many Mario fans to make their own Mario levels. Enter Super Mario Maker, released on the Wii U in 2015, and adapted to the 3DS in 2016, which was also responsible somewhat for the beginning of this very channel, Video Games for Fun, where I played a level that someone on YouTube made. Fetch! No, stop! Just go for Goombas, jump out! Why does that always happen? Yeah! But surprise, surprise! A Nintendo Direct presentation in February 2019 revealed Super Mario Maker 2 was in the works. But how does it stack up against its predecessor? Does it allow players to live out their wildest dreams as a level designer for the next big Mario game on a Nintendo platform? Let's answer those questions by making a review for the game. That bad joke has got this review off to a questionable start. For those of you who aren't familiar with Super Mario Maker, or even, surprisingly, Mario games, the game simply allows players to make levels or courses like those in a 2D Mario game, and you and other people online can play them. It is a massive online frenzy to see who can not only get really creative, but also try to get from point A to point B by being good at the side-scroller gameplay that made the Mario series very successful over the years. Being a sequel, Super Mario Maker 2 has some differences, a few of which are in very stark contrast to before. A game like this actually gets its own story mode, which is not anything that deep even for a Mario game. A castle for Princess Peach has been built, except the Undo dog steps on a reset rocket button, which means Mario and a group of toads have to build the whole thing all over again. You, as Mario, go through a series of random levels referred to as jobs to receive coin payments to build the castle. Some of the jobs also involve the toads and a few other characters. The story mode doesn't necessarily take that long to complete, but more importantly, it has over 100 levels. You don't have to complete all of them, but it's hard not to feel inspired by at least some of the levels. Many of them almost feel like something from a past Mario game, but some of the deft platforming mechanics, not to mention puzzle elements and victory conditions such as having to clear a specific amount of coins or carry an item such as a stone, are really interesting. Victory conditions are a new idea for Super Mario Maker 2, and that's not the only thing. Super Mario Maker 2 features the option to choose from the visual styles and gameplay themes from the first Super Mario Maker, which were Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and New Super Mario Bros. U. Plus, there's a new one, Super Mario 3D World. That one is not 3D, however, and is a side-scroller like the others. They all look like they should, so this is a nice looking, colourful game. The story mode graphics mostly feel like a stronger and smoother Super Mario 3D World, though it's surely not on the level of Super Mario Odyssey. Much of the features and mechanics from 3D World make it stand out from the other four. That also means that in contrast to the previous four, 3D World's theme is not a palette swap, and you have to create a level from scratch. Overall, this sequel has more assets than before, including those that weren't in the games of origin. The options for what to make seem endless or infinite. Do a puzzle level where you have to find a key. Do a lever pushing timing test where you jump on enemies and projectiles to get to platforms. Or even have one where a mushroom chases you. That's it! That's so scary, this is an early Halloween review! The interface you use to create levels like those works pretty well. To help you out is a tutorial presented by Nina and the Pigeon Yamamura. They talk about the basic functions and tools, as well as give you advice such as coin placement and not being mean to players in terms of putting together a frustrating challenge. The interface can feel a bit overwhelming and intimidating, partially due to the number of tools at your disposal. It can also feel a bit twitchy, regardless of hotkeys such as the L button for erasing and the X button to switch to the cursor. Controlling with a control stick and an A button is fine, but using a stylus or your own finger, mostly to create a pattern of terrain or parts, may be more comfortable for you. Once you place that first part, you may frantically start placing things everywhere and hopefully some kind of level will be there. Or you have something in that brain of yours, a great idea, or, as the tutorial may describe it, a great story. You are only limited by your imagination, as well as the maximum size of levels or the limit to the number of parts you can place. There are only so many doors that a level can have. The music you hear while creating courses generally consists of calm remixes of the Mario tunes from specific levels, depending on which theme you create with. Plus, you can include whatever music the game has in your levels, including, surprisingly, 3D Mario games and Mario Kart. Once you finish making your course, you can put it out there provided you can clear it yourself. Yep, you can be mean and make levels that are seemingly impossible to finish. Still, the online experience is generally fine, whether you play or download other courses that are uploaded, comment respectfully on someone's creation, and even potentially boo it. Speaking of boo, there's another aspect of online play that has to be addressed, and that is multiplayer, both in versus and co-op. Multiplayer, where you generally have to get to the goal first, is fun, except there's some bad lag, which can lead to quite a few communication errors. Lag was reduced if there were 2 or 3 players, especially after players gave up or lost all 1-ups or lives. Maybe it would have been nice if you could choose the number of players, or this could be simply fixed or patched in the future. Co-op does appear to have less lag, but it's not that much of a difference. Apart from voting on a difficulty level in co-op mode, you can't choose a level at all. Still, the random nature is another nice excuse to see other levels. Is Super Mario Maker 2 better than its predecessor? Well, those who played the first game will find much of it familiar or perhaps identical. There is an endless challenge that replaces the 100 Mario challenge from before, which features levels that people have made. That, combined with a story mode, might give the slightest itch of inspiration, not to mention unlockables such as assets you can use, and clothes for your avatar. And even going onto the course world and simply playing and marveling at all these creations is also fun in itself, purely down to the timeless 2D Mario gameplay, regardless of the changes to the physics and jumping and running. The multiplayer needs a fair amount of improvement, unless one's internet is probably from the Stone Age. And the Easter eggs and use of amiibos from before is sadly missing. Here's hoping in the future there is some good DLC, considering there's a gap next to the Super Mario 3D World option. As it currently stands, Super Mario Maker 2 is a game that will surely provide many hours of fun, to the point of rendering its predecessor obsolete. Well, thank you so much for watching my review of Super Mario Maker 2 on the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to end this review differently to how I normally do with my end screens and stuff. I'm going to do a quiz. Yep, that's right. And the first one to answer this as correctly as possible will get a shout out on my next review, which will be Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64. And that's review. Not sure if the next video will be the review. Suffice to say, the reviews after Paper Mario are going to be interesting. Anyways, the quiz. To answer the question, you will need 1 or 2 things. One is a copy of Super Mario Maker 2 to enter the course ID. Or if you don't have that, 2, being able to look up who, or what, I follow on Twitter, with posts close to the game's release on 28th of June 2019. Yeah, sorry those of you without the game will probably have a trickier time. Anyways, the quiz question is, what is the name of a YouTuber, or former YouTuber, who made the course with this ID? So, enter that ID or look on Twitter or something and enter your answer in the comments down below. Again, the first to answer as correctly as possible gets the shout out. There are essentially 2 answers, but either one, as correctly as possible, is fine. Or if you don't want to do the quiz, that's fine. Feel free to do the whole YouTube thing that is liking and subscribing, and even comment down below what you thought of Super Mario Maker 2. Have you played it? Are you going to play it? Or you could talk about something else, like food, books, what the meaning of life is. I'll have to figure that out. Until then, have a good day or night or whatever it is, and I'll see you next time.